Listen, kids, there's only two reasons you can have for growing mutton chops. That's one, you're a steampunk douche flute, or two, you're paying tribute to Captain Jonathan R. Davis, the gang-slaying angel of death. It's Jonathan Davis on today's Motivated Moments in History. Jonathan Davis was born in 1816. He was in the Mexican-American War as an honorary captain of the Palmetto Regiment of the South Carolina Volunteers. Other than that, there's really not too much to be known about his life. I mean, we really don't know. Except, you know, the day he donned the dark wings of justice and preyed upon the wicked as a hellfire-ordained angel of death. Jonathan wanted to strike it rich, and the California gold rush promised a chance of fortune to anybody with the balls to brave the elements. So he and two friends, James McDonald and Bolivar Sparks, who was also a doctor, went out west and tried to get some gold stacks and become rich like those dudes in rap videos. They reached a good spot in the hills where they overlooked, the land, and surveyed the terrain to see where they eventually mined and scope for, possible potential threats. Well, this hilltop, it was kind of inescapable, and it was perfect to get rolled up on by something like, an international gang of 13 freaking bandits. You heard me, international. One French guy, 2 Americans, 2 Brits, 4 Mexicans, and 4 Australians. This motherfucker was the United Nations of robbery. This gang of no good sons of bitches killed 4 Americans the day before and 6 Chinese dudes the week prior to that. So the gang snuck up on John and his buddies, jumped out the trees, and shot James without notice. When James hit the mat, Bolivar turned around and tried to shoot, but medics suck at shooting, so he missed those bastards worse than a Blair Walsh field goal. So the bandit shot Bolivar and he died as well. So now the bandits had Jonathan surrounded, and they probably had some douchey-ass monologue or something like that, but they failed to realize this guy had the spirit of Hades in his freaking mutton chops. And they started to enter their last 2 minutes of their stupid freaking existence. Davis stared into the eyes of his adversaries, felt a fire of hate consume him, leaving him with only one option to quell the sensation: slay some motherfucking bodies! David pulled out his pistols like Clint Eastwood and started blazing away, killing 7. After the 7th body dropped, he heard the worst sound in the world: the click of an empty gun. The remaining bandits laughed at him and most likely resumed their douche-ass monologue or whatever, but they still didn't get that freaking memo about those badass mutton chops. Davis pulled out a knife and went into action. We've all heard this expression before: never take a knife to a gunfight. Well, John heard that before, but he was a fuckless kill monster and ran into the gang's pistol and rifle fire, matrixing every round that came his way, and he stabbed 4 dudes. This left the gang with only 2 surviving members. Well, they looked at each other and they gave that secret nod that meant, we're about to get our taints ripped apart. So they turned around and ran the hell off. Jonathan went to the nearest town and told people what happened. Of course, no one believed him because there's no way one man can kill 11 high-profile murderous gang members. But he told them to go check it out, and, they did anyway. When they got to the hilltop, they gazed upon the ceremoniously stacked pile of dead people now known as Mount St. Jonathan fucking Davis. They turned to thank Davis for ridding their community of these terrorizing turd stabbers, but he was nowhere to be found. That's right. Like the spirit of mayhem and vengeance, he came, he killed, and then he vanished into thin air. Most likely being called to the spirit realm to unleash fire and fury and anger on some of those fire in the sky type bitches. Davis became an instant legend. He was never heard of again, but there were a few documented sightings of him up and down California until 1847. Yes, you've heard me. Sightings. This guy got mythological creature status. You know you're awesome when people refer to you the same way they freaking do Bigfoot. Well, his last known sighting was in 1847. Nobody knows where he's buried, or even if he died at all. Urban legend has it, if you say his name 5 times into a mirror and turn off the lights, he'll appear in your house, eat all your barbecue, and ply your girlfriend. Who knows? But anyway, that, kids, is your Motivated Moments in History.